It's Ronnie, and welcome to Ginger's Corner special event Secret Santa, the 12 days of Christmas. And today's day 5, and so it's 5 golden rings. And you got a choice of using gold or glitter, and I'm going to use gold on my embellishment. And I'm using those two die sets, they are two different ones, and the one on the left is like a partial, and it has to have another set called Santa's Friends to complete it. It's an add-on thing. I'm going to use one of these ovals, and I'm going to use a few things out of this. It's very small die, so you won't see very big parts getting used. I don't go ahead and use the candy cane. I will use that punch. I think. I think I do. I can't remember. I made it a few days ago. And also that fleur de lis. I'm going to be using it. If I said that right, at least y'all seen it, whether I said it right or not. Um, this is the head of one of those deer, and I like using it for cute little elves. And, and in this case, it is a nutcracker. I am not going to have the mouth like the nutcrackers do to crack the nuts with all those teeth. I see his chin. There's just no room there for a mouth like that. And I did want to use this head because I like the way it's shaped. I am adding a nose. It is smaller than the one that goes there because it's a deer and you can add a red nose and so they make it bigger. But it works for me. I like the cute and tiny. Yeah, of course I do like the Rudolph one. Um, I'm making a mustache here, and I mean here it is, hand cutting, and my phone rings, and I no more set it down and start again, and it does it again. So I did get it cut though. I picked the wrong scissors up the second time, and it's those Tim Holtz ones, and they're kind of serrated. You're supposed to flip it over the other side. Well, either way, if you're cutting on that small a piece, it looks a bit choppy. So I did go back to my cutter bees. But like I said, I got it done. And there's his little mustache. And you will notice at the end that he doesn't look so much like Nutcracker as a little boy dressed up as a Nutcracker with a mustache on. I punched out that little circle piece um, to start with, and then when I actually had it there with the face, it looked way too big, so I had to punch it again and use one of the smaller punches. Well, this one, I guess. It. I am going to use it for the gold. I did make a gold collar, and is it called a it's one of those things that's very old fashioned that a man would wear. I can't even think of what it is, and I have heard it many times on TV and read it in books. But I have it on there, and then I'm going to make the buttons on his breast gold too. So I'm adding gold. I will add gold to the hat and even to the boots. But I'm not having a solid gold. I couldn't think of anything I want to do that was solid gold. I look at all my dies and they just didn't work. This part here that I'm using, it is supposed to be the belly of the deer, the arms, and so I cut them in half and I'm going to use it again and again. I'm going to use it a few times on here. It's just a handy dandy little part to cut. I mean, to cut out, to die cut. The hands here are the hoofs on the one reindeer. And I'm just using a right and left. And since it's going to be hanging down by his side, only part's going to show anyway. And I thought, those would work really good for the hands. I think another time or two that I made things with them, they just sat there if I was making a little guy or a little girl. But today, I happened to use them, but instead of a circle, because you cut hide half the circle anyhow. I wanted his jacket to be longer. Well, coat, uniform. That's it. That's the word. to be a little bit longer. And so I just hand cut a piece of cardstock. I made sure it was wide enough to fit in with that oval. And I did ink everything in advance so that I wouldn't have to keep stopping and inking on all these little pieces. And then in that little green die set, there was triangles, and I started to use the smaller one there, but it just was too small. And I thought, well, if I use the other one, I can just cut it off. And it went up farther. And as you can see, it looks kind of like it's open there at the top and then open there at the bottom because of the belt there in between there. And for the belt buckle, I just cut a rectangular piece wider than the belt, and then I cut a a little chunk, a very little chunk off of the belt so it'd be the same size, so it looked like his belt's going through the buckle. If you don't look too close, that is. Here, oh, I punched out his ears, and so I forgot about him. Was pulling all the parts out, laying them there, but he's gonna have uh, well, they're gonna be kind of sticking out since I used a circle for them. But they I think they look cute. I think that helps him look like a little boy nutcracker instead. And I'm gonna put one on each side. And the top part of my hat, I think it's either the last time or the time before that I made a nutcracker. I forgot the top part till after I took the photos and had to take them again, I think. But I'm going to remember the top part of the hat this time. I mean, you might think I'm going to miss it, but I'm not. I am actually going to remember it. But while I'm adding this stuff, I want to mention that down there below that you will find the link to the master. Why do I keep calling it that? The playlist with scraps to embellishments, and you'll find the 12 days of Christmas in there also. Plus, you'll find the link to the Facebook group too, in case you want to join in. This one here, it's already done and everything, and everybody's sending out their stuff this week. Well, some's early. My partner was very early. It took forever to get here, but she said a priority mail and it took 9 days. So, yeah, she already sent hers, so I have it. But I'm a lot slower, so mine is getting sent this week. Um, I'm using the white gel pen to highlight here, and uh, the ones I get like a package from Amazon, and there's like 4 or 5 in the package, and they're all different point sizes, so tiny, bigger, bigger. And when I first got them, I'd pay attention and decide if I wanted thicker or thinner lines on there. But now I just grab whichever one is working at the moment and be happy with that. But I have to admit, they stay fluid longer. I mean, they were very inexpensive ones. They stay fluid longer than some of the ones I paid quite a bit for one. So I do like them a lot. And as you can see on my boots, I have gold on the top, and of course a belt buckle and quite a bit on the hat. So plenty of gold on here. And I wanted to add something with him because he'd look cuter on the carrying sheet that I'm going to put him in for his trip to my partner, and to have a tree or something there. So that's what the tree is. And I thought somehow I could work those candy cane in there, but no, I couldn't figure out anything. I even thought about having him holding them, but I thought it's going to look kind of awkward, so I passed on that one. But this is my tree, and I did take some white ink and add to it so it looked kind of like there's snow on it. And that tree is from Tim Holtz die set that comes in a pair of trees. But the inside kind of falls out, so I make sure when I take it out of the die to try to just flip it over and get the little pieces too, and then I just put some cardstock on the back so it's more solid. And let's see. Oh, the last thing I'm adding is a little tiny gold bow. It came with the candy canes, and I'm just going to add it on the front of my pot there, and that pot is the same thing the boots are made out of, and it's hoofs from one of those deer sets. But I want to thank y'all so very, very much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you have a happy, scrappy day, because I will be back tomorrow with another one. And who knows, I might have a wood grain and winter layout too. Bye.